Let's clear something up right from the start, because this is one of the biggest lies in hair care, especially for wavy hair. Your hair is not frizzy because of the weather. Humidity gets blamed because it's easy, but the real causes start long before you ever step outside. Frizz is not a climate problem, it's a structural problem inside the hair itself. Every single strand of hair has an outer protective layer called the cuticle. That cuticle is made up of overlapping scales, kind of like tiles on a roof. When those scales are lying flat and compact, your hair looks smooth, defined and controlled. But when those scales lift, even just slightly, light scatters, moisture moves in and out unevenly, and what you see is frizz. Now, that lifting doesn't just happen randomly. It happens because of what we do to our hair every single day. Things like heat styling, aggressive brushing, rough towel drying, chemical services like bleach and permanent color, and even repeated friction from your hands, your clothes, and your pillowcases slowly roughen up that cuticle. Once that cuticle is compromised, the hair becomes porous, and porous hair does not behave predictably. It absorbs moisture way too quickly and loses it just as fast, which causes the strand to swell and contract unevenly. That movement is frizz. This is exactly why two people can stand in the same weather, and one has perfectly smooth hair while the other looks like they've been electrocuted. The difference isn't the air, it's the condition of their hair's cuticle. Another major contributor that people don't really want to hear about is dryness caused by our routine habits. Overwashing, using super hot water, and shampoos that strip your natural oils all remove the lipid layer that helps keep the cuticle flat. Those oils are not dirt. They are your hair's natural protection. When you remove them too often, your hair has no buffer. The cuticle lifts more easily, and the inner structure of the hair is exposed to stress. Wavy hair is even more vulnerable to this because the wave itself creates natural bends in the strand. At every single bend, the cuticle is already under a bit of tension. So, if the hair is dry or damaged at those points, the cuticle lifts there first. This is why you often see frizz showing up around the crown, the mid-lengths and the ends, instead of just evenly all over your head. This has absolutely nothing to do with the weather and everything to do with physics. Then there's hair porosity, which is something most people have never been taught about properly. High porosity hair is usually the result of damage from things like UV exposure, heat, or chemical processing, although some people do have naturally more porous hair. High porosity hair lets moisture in easily but cannot hold on to it. That constant in and out movement of water inside the strand weakens the internal hydrogen bonds in the keratin. When those bonds break and then reform unevenly, your hair loses its shape control and starts to expand in random directions. That expansion is what we all call frizz. Static electricity adds another layer to this problem, especially when your hair is dry. Dry hair builds up static, and that static causes the individual strands to repel each other. That's why your hair can look frizzy even in dry weather with zero humidity in the air. Friction is another one of those silent killers. Cotton towels, rough pillowcases, tight hairstyles, constantly touching your hair, all of these create microscopic damage that doesn't show up immediately. Frizz is often just delayed damage. What you're seeing today is the result of habits from weeks or even months ago. This is why those quick fixes you see online rarely work. Products alone don't fix frizz if the structure underneath is unstable. Moisture itself is also completely misunderstood. Hair is dead protein. It doesn't need moisture in the same way your skin does. Water interacts with the hydrogen bonds inside the hair shaft. When moisture enters and leaves unevenly because the cuticle is lifted, the strand swells irregularly. That irregular swelling breaks your wave definition and creates that rough surface texture. Again, this isn't about the weather, it's about the structure. When you really understand this, you stop chasing humidity sprays and miracle creams and you start looking at prevention. Gentle handling, controlled heat, fewer aggressive washes, protecting the cuticle instead of constantly stripping it, and respecting your natural wave pattern. All of these things matter more than any single product you could ever buy. This is also why some traditional advice actually works, even though people don't always understand the science behind it. Silk pillowcases reduce friction. Using lukewarm water prevents excessive cuticle lift. Reducing heat keeps the protein structure of your hair stable. These aren't trends, they're physics. So, if your wavy hair looks frizzy, stop blaming the sky. The weather is just reacting to what's already going on inside your hair. Frizz is a message. It's telling you that your cuticle is compromised, the structure is unstable, and your routine is working against your texture instead of with it. When you fix that at the source, frizz stops being a daily fight and starts becoming something you can actually control. And if you want to go deeper than just YouTube videos, in January we'll be launching the Hair by Jacob website. Every video will have a full written blog post to go with it. You'll be able to see my complete professional portfolio, and for those who want real guidance, you'll also be able to meet with me. That's where the full education lives, without shortcuts, without trends, and without any guessing. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.